Well, Kenya has been pursuing plans to go the nuclear way, just trying to diversify its energy mix. Just give us an update on what your visit really entails and what should you expect at the end of your visit.
I'm here with 11 international experts, and we are reviewing the status of Kenya's progress towards introducing nuclear power. We're here for something called an integrated nuclear infrastructure review, where we're taking a look at all of the arrangements, the capacity building plans for Kenya's pursuit of nuclear power as part of its energy mix. So this group of experts will be giving Kenya recommendations and suggestions at the end of their trip next Monday about how Kenya can move forward and maybe some areas where they should focus their additional work. It's a long journey and it's a serious journey. It's a technology that requires a certain level of safety and oversight. And so what the IAEA recommends is to prepare very deliberately and to think carefully about national responsibilities and international obligations. And so part of what this team will do during this mission is to work with Kenya about their journey. Most countries take between 8 and 15 years to go from the beginning of the planning process until they have an operating reactor. So the timeline that the Kenyan government has laid out fits into that range. Nuclear power, whether to start a program is a sovereign decision, how to go about the arrangements for the program are sovereign decisions, and so the IAEA would not advise one option over another option. I know that Kenya is currently exploring different possibilities, and that's one of the things that they'll be discussing with the experts this week. There will be some discussion about siting and whether and how the international guidelines for how to site nuclear plants are being followed here.
One of the biggest challenges that most African countries have faced is the funding component when it comes to nuclear energy. What sort of alternatives or options should Kenya look at when it comes to the actual funding of this project, knowing that it costs billions of dollars, really?
It's true that nuclear reactors cost in the billions of dollars. It's also true that nuclear can be an economic source of electricity. Most sources of electricity have as the main cost the fuel. But nuclear works differently. The main cost is actually the initial investment in the plant itself. And the operating costs are actually quite low compared to other sources of electricity. So this is partly why nuclear is such a long-term commitment. The reactors will operate for 30 to 60 years, producing electricity, and over that time, hopefully economically as well. What we're seeing among countries that are starting nuclear programs today is that they're taking somewhat different approaches than in the past. So they're bringing in strategic partners, in long-term investors, and in some cases what we call a build, own, operate arrangement, where the promoters of the project are actually also investors in the project. We're concerned about energy security. We want to diversify our energy mix. We need more energy in order to fuel our plans for sustainable development. And simply, we're out of options. We've maxed out hydro, we've looked at renewables, and we need everything on the table, including nuclear power. That there are 30 countries that currently have nuclear power plants around the world, and that even after the accident at Fukushima in Japan, nuclear reactors are safer than they've ever been. There have been improvements in the international safety regimes and upgrades at reactors around the world. So that's the first thing. And the second thing is that the IAEA does provide standards for safety and guidelines for nuclear security about how nuclear plants can be used in a safe and secure manner.
Regarding the development of nuclear energy, there have been concerns around how safe is it? Is it a stable source of power? And will it really change the dynamic